in Riverside today, and it's going to be the kind of a celebration. 45 years this month. On the 22nd, I bought my first pipe back in Kokomo, Indiana, and that would be my world famous store pipe from Woolworths. It's the Whitehall Red Dot, and you can see it's still alive. And then of course went out and bought not a tub. I bought one of these size pouches of Middleton's Cherry. Well, I know the blend has changed over the years, and we're going to test this out. This is a vintage tin of Middleton's Cherry Blend that my friend David from Palm Springs gifted to me. It has not been opened. It does not have the old coating on it, the scan code, so it's pretty safe to say it's pre-1974. I'm going to open it now, and we're going to determine whether it's the same cut, the crimp cut that I remember back in those days. All right, here we go. The old lever key. This hasn't seen the light of day, so we're going to open it up here. Yeah.
Wow.
Not wanting to give up the ghost here. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, let me get my keepers on here. We're going to take the plastic flask off. Oh my goodness.
Well, what do you think?
It's a little bit more spaghetti of a cut than I remember the crimp cut being. So
I think the aging has turned it black also.
yeah. My oh my. It's not dried out by any sense of the imagination. It's just not the same cut. So let's put a little bit in the put it a little bit in there. And David, reach in and pull out a little bit of that light and put it in there. We'll do a really close analysis on it. So the one on the left here is vintage. 1972, when I remember just how much of a crimp cut it was. Certainly the first thing I noticed is the darkness. The old looks a lot darker than the new. And this even looks a little more crimp cut than the old. So that goes against my that goes against what I remember. Yeah, this definitely does not look like the stuff that I had back in '72. So where do we go from there? Well, let's just interestingly enough, this reminds me exactly of the tin note and the room note and the flavor of the original that I remember back in '72. But it's not the same cut. I'm not trying to add any mystery to it. I remember exactly in that little pouch I had, it was more crimp cut. And I don't think it was this dark. So maybe there's a case to say, yes, you can age an aromatic and enhance it. But the flavor is just as I remember it. And I'm puffing on it like a freight train, and I have absolutely no tongue bite at the moment. What does that mean? I don't know. Well, anyway, there you go. And David is smoking it now, and he's the one that gifted the big tub to me. I appreciate it, David.
I can't say if this is the way I remember it. I smoked it in probably '92, so it might have been different than this, but it's hard to tell when it's aged.
Yep.
Aromatics aren't supposed to change that much, but this, I think, has.
Okay, now, I got to tell you, no relights on this. You can see it's ashing down. I do remember how hot this Brylon pipe got when I started smoking in the summer of '72 with Middleton's Cherry Blend, and also the tongue bite I had on it. So can it be said that aging this for maybe 30 or more years, like it's been, has mellowed the blend some, but the taste is just like it was. No tongue bite now. Man, there was tongue bite then. And the cut is not what I remember. This is ribbon cut. Whoops. I remember more of a crimp. Finer pieces of tobacco. So anyway, I'm sure enjoying it, regardless. And this might be the only vintage Middleton's Cherry Blend video on YouTube, but you saw I did the 3-part one on the Flying Dutchman, and I've got Briggs and the one my dad smoked, Crosby Square, that I'm going to be putting up also, so watch for that. David, thanks again for the bucket.
You're welcome.
Vintage Middleton's Cherry, and you might as well tell the folks, where can you get the best in vintage tobaccos?
Pipestud.com.
Alrighty.
Good guy to deal with.
Yep. See Steve, he's a great guy. Okay, now we're looking at the new day, present day Middleton's pouch. And again, let's look at the nomenclature on here. This is John Middleton and Company, and it says Limerick, Pennsylvania. And again, the vintage says King of Prussia, PA. So there we go. Dave's lighting up the current blend and giving his analysis when he gets it going here, and I'm going to be lighting mine up. So hang loose. We're puffing on the current day Middleton's Red Cherry, or I should say Cherry Blend, Middleton's Cherry Blend. Two things that stand out pronounced. Number one, the flavor. It's not as rich tasting. I'm not getting any cherry really out of it. Never did, the new stuff. And if you swirl that smoke around in your mouth for a bit, you get the tongue bite. That's not to say David's getting the same thing. David, what are you getting?
Well, I'm smoking a filter here, so I'm not noticing the tongue bite too much, but it definitely has a different flavor. I'm not really getting any cherry out of it either.
Yeah.
I'd say the new stuff is sharper.
Yeah.
Sharper? Is that a good word?
Yeah. A little more harsh, maybe?
Harsher? Yeah. I don't know if that's from aging or...
Well, we can't prove it, but I will say the aged Middletons has a more rich tone to it. Flavor enhanced. A nice cherry flavor and a room note. Whereas the new blend that I'm smoking right now, or the current, I keep saying the new blend, it's not new, it's a current blend that Middleton's has, or have had. Not near as enjoyable. Same pipe, I let this pipe cool down. I wish our pipes could talk, because this one would tell you something about the original Cherry Blend. Any change in texture with yours, David?
Not really. Nope.
Alright. So we've had the old and the current.
I would say this tastes almost more like Carter Hall than the old Middleton.
Okay. So you think burley with a little cherry note, but very little cherry note.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Middleton Challenge. Happy 45th birthday to this pipe. And we'll catch up with you later on a channel near you.